Hello. Welcome to Last Week on Gamepass. I'm William Doyle,
I'm Nathan Combs.
and this is a show about what came out last week on Game Pass. We review Game Pass games and let you know whether it's worth the download space on your hard drive, and whether there's something similar but better also on Game Pass that might be a better download.
Yeah, and we can move right into what came out last week. So first up, I have Desperados III. I had never played a Desperados game before.
Neither
I don't know, have you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And this wasn't what I was expecting, I guess. It's a top-down stealth game. It's not like a top-down XCOM game. It is a through-and-through stealth game with skills. If that sounds up your alley, download it. I won't say that it really was for me, though. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm not too big on real-time strategy games.
Mm-hmm.
But something I liked about this was instead of commanding units, you actually take control of the characters.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit more fun, in my opinion. But I wasn't too big on it.
Yeah, I had fun at the first tutorial mission. I was like, okay, this is cool. But something about when I got multiple characters in my party, it was weird controlling multiple people at one time. I think then it just started to become overload for me. And maybe it just didn't work quite well on controller because I was playing on my Xbox, and maybe a PC it might be a better experience.
Yeah, I could see that. I feel like if you're into tactical games, you might like this. But there's also Halo Wars 2 if you're into more traditional RTSs.
And Halo Wars 2 is definitely optimized for a controller. So if you want to play something on your console, I'd probably go for that. But I do want to say one thing I do love. There's a dedicated quick save button. So you just hit your little menu button and it quick saves. I wish more games did that. Something
I don't love is that every minute it's like, hey buddy, you didn't quick save. And a huge banner pops up at the top of your screen saying, it's been a minute. It's been a minute 30. And it just counts. It's like you quick save.
It's so weird. I know. I feel that too because I like quick saving, but I don't need the quick save every minute. I don't know why this game's like, hey, you need to do this now.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. But I will say it is nice looking. And if you're in the RTSs, I definitely give it a try, but there's definitely better games on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's not like it's a bad game.
No.
Maybe if you look at it and it's like, oh, that seems interesting, give it a download. But
yeah, it comes in at 22 gigabytes, so
yeah,
not too bad.
All right.
Cool.
Coming up next, Donut County. This game is coming in at 301 megabytes, and it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a good time with it. I think it's a really simple, relaxing game, and because it's only 300 megabytes, it's worthy of a download. It takes about an hour to beat, so you can pop it on and have a good time.
And just beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you play as a hole in the ground,
and
you kind of just suck things up. Kind of feels like Katamari Damacy.
Yeah, it's like the flip side of Katamari Damacy. Instead of gathering everything, what if we take away everything? And I think that's cool. There's not as much depth as I would say Katamari game, because Katamari is all about collecting every item, and there's a bunch of stuff. This game kind of forces you to pick up every item. You know, it's very linear.
You never don't pick up every item in the level. There's a little amusing entry log for every item also. Kind of fun to read. And it's got a little bit of a story.
Yeah.
It's got a little animal people.
Yeah, the main
story.
The main character is a raccoon, which I'm all for. I love raccoons, so I'm down for it. BK.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I really don't have any negatives to give just because I think it's so small and a cute, simple game. It's really hard to not recommend.
It's very charming.
Yeah.
The music in it is very good.
Yeah, the music I love. There's a moment, I think when you go in the Trash King area, that music is really good. I recommend
there's a level where it has to do with a lizard person, and that one has lyrics.
Yeah, there's an achievement tied to that one actually where you don't suck up the radio. One of the only times you don't take anything is you have to take up everything except for the radio.
Except for the radio, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a fun, silly one. I will say easy 1,000 gamer score. I did it in 2 hours. Yeah, recommend.
All right, recommend. coming up next, coming out on PC, is Control.
Yeah, Control is. I wanted to go into the story right now. The story is all over the place. I would say it's kind of like an open world-esque game, almost like Arkham Asylum, where you're in a building, you explore the building, there's different points, but it's super weird. It's not what I expected. I thought it'd be like a linear like shooter, but you have like powers, you have
missions.
There's side missions, there's chests for materials, and you can upgrade like your weapons and stuff. And you only get one weapon, really, right? I only got to like chapter 3, I think.
You get the one weapon, but it can switch into other weapons. Like there's a shotgun version and like
that's cool.
Machine gun version.
Yeah. And what I really like about this game is the fact that I can explain the story. Super weird. Maybe one of the weirdest games I've played, like weirdest AAA games I've played.
Oh yeah, for like a big AAA game. Very I feel like something David Lynch.
Yeah, it's very David Lynch, very like dream logic, like, and that's like kind of brought up to you because there's one point where like I guess the rule of threes is a big deal, where you hit a light switch 3 times and then you like teleport somewhere, which I think is super interesting. It's it's weird. I like that.
It's a weird one.
Yeah. And the gameplay. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, the gameplay's all right.
Yeah, I think that's what I would like say. It doesn't hold up as much as the story, maybe.
Yeah, it's a game where you have these superpowers, like throwing objects, but you die really quick. If you mess up at all, like you're dead. So like it kind of forces you to like take cover.
Yeah,
kind of lame.
Yeah, there's like the first boss battle. Like I just took cover the whole time. It was easy, but if you peeked out of cover at all, you were just dead instantly. So it's just like hiding in cover, shooting, hiding cover. It's not like Gears where it's fast paced. It's a little slower, I guess.
Yeah. But like this game gives you cool powers like flying and air dashing, and to make you stand behind a pillar because this thing can kill you in 2 hits.
Yeah.
And there's a thing I ran into recently where like you get like a mobile shield, which might fix some of the issues, but still I would say you use a shield to get from cover to cover.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a little sad, right? Because like a game like with powers and stuff, you'd think like, oh, it needs to be fast paced. You're air dashing, you're doing cool moves, you're really going at it, almost like a Devil May Cry situation.
Yeah.
But no. It's a little bit slower. I do think it's interesting enough that it is worth trying, but it is 50 gigabytes. It's a big download.
It's hefty.
Yeah, so this might be one where you have to delete a game or two to get it on your console. I would say only if you're really into like David Lynch weird stories, I'd say give it a shot, because I think that's why I'm really enjoying it.
It would just be terrible if at the end it's like nothing's explained.
Right, I would be really upset.
Something does make me want to do. It makes me want to go and play Quantum Break, which I've never played.
Oh yeah, I never played Quantum Break either, and I was thinking about that too.
Quantum Break.
Yeah, exactly. Get the little bit of the TV show in. Yeah. I guess the big thing you got to mention is like it's from the makers of Quantum Break and Alan Wake, and
those are both pretty weird games, also.
Yeah, exactly. Very like Twin Peaks inspired. Yeah. And I like Alan Wake. I'd say it kind of plays like Alan Wake, because Alan Wake's gunplay is, use the flashlight and everything. It's definitely weird. So, yeah, makes sense.
All right, that one is, I guess, if you're looking at it and be like, oh, I think I'd like this, you probably would like it.
I agree.
But it is 50 gigs, so do with that.
So only if you really, you really need it. And then one last one, we got Outer Wilds coming in at 8 gigs. Not Outer Worlds, Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds. But for this, it's coming to Android, and you don't have to download it. It's like a streaming deal. So I guess 0 gigs if you're playing it on your phone.
Yeah, I guess that's 0 gigs.
But if you're playing it anywhere else, it's 8 gigs. I want to talk about this one because it is my favorite game of 2019. If you haven't played it, it's very good.
Yeah, this is my first time playing it. I actually picked it up for the show to play it. and it's interesting. It's super. It took me a little bit to get into because the space flight controls and stuff. It takes a little bit, but I think it's worth getting used to everything because I think once you actually get into exploring, it's a lot of fun.
Your ship controls like a toilet bowl covered in banana peels. So,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the deal.
Yeah.
You know,
once you get a hang of it, you can do some wacky.
Mm-hmm.
I keep cursing, and I'm gonna bleep this out.
That's okay. The censored version.
Yeah.
Patreon subscribers get the uncensored.
Oh yeah, subscribe to our Patreon. But this game is very exploration heavy. It doesn't really tell you where to go or anything.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is you have to find out what's causing the sun to explode every 22 minutes. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a Groundhog's Day situation where you replay the same 22 minutes over and over.
Yeah, kind of like, I guess the video game equivalent would also be Majora's Mask in a way.
Yeah.
Where it just resets, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, it's interesting. Like, I love I think Groundhog Day situations are a lot of fun for a lot of people, so the idea of just replaying it over and over again, exploring new things, it's cool. It adds it adds weirdness, or not weirdness, but it adds like a fun flair to just like an exploration game, you know?
Yeah. And like there's like a whole functioning solar system that they all orbit around each other, and the planets kind of change themselves within the 22 minutes. Mm-hmm. So there are certain things you can only do like on this planet 19 minutes into it, and you have to like be there and like do the certain thing right then.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I really like it.
Nice. So highly recommend?
That's a highly recommend.
Cool. Yeah. I'd recommend you try it too. 8 gigs. Easy download. Yeah, I think that's about it. That was this week on Game Pass.
That wraps it up.
Yeah, next week we have another big week coming at us. We got a lot to talk about, so I'm excited.
I'm excited for the Medium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Medium. I'm excited for the Yakuza Remastered trilogy. I'm pumped for that. And we'll give you some recommendations. Check us out next week.
All right. See you then.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.